Hello and welcome back to NFT Atlas, where we're going to be picking up from the last video. If you've not seen the last video, you can click here where we modeled this mushroom for our 3D art for our NFT. Today's video we're going to now colour this in and add some textures to it and make it a bit more lifelike. So brilliant guys, as you remember, obviously we made this NFT mushroom and it's obviously grey just now. We don't want that. We want to make it a bit more obviously unique, make it stand out more, add some colour. Just now it is just grey, so we don't want that. We're going to start off with the mushroom itself. There's a few ways we can colour this in. So we can just add a texture. On the bottom right corner here there is an option down here, material properties, add a texture. We can click new. And there's an option straight away just to do a basic colour. There's lots to worry about all this to the side at the side here. If we change the base colour, we can make it, let's see, we want obviously the top of the mushroom to be red, so make it red. And then what we'll do is have a look and see what's happened. Now you'll notice straight away there's nothing's happened. That's because in the top right corner we need to click this option here. Okay, so this actually shows us what would be rendered. Okay, we've got the basic viewport shading here, and what we're now into is the material preview. So this is just a solid. So that's us moved us back to normal. So we do want to kind of keep into this option here for this, but you see all of it's red. Okay, stock should not be red. So we don't want this. So I'm going to Control Z. Take that back out. Okay, that's us back to the start, and because I'm just doing the mushroom, I'm going to actually hide the eyebrows and the eyes. I'll just stick them to that mushroom just now. What I'm going to do now is hit and click UV editing, sorry, texture paint, and you'll see now that we have the mushroom. It's in purple, so this is the kind of default colour. And we have the brushes here to paint it. Now if I click this, you'll see at the bottom it says missing materials, textures detected. So this is obviously an error. Okay, we need to create what we call a UV map for the mushroom so that we can individually paint aspects of it. Okay, so we'll get that set up. So now we're in the UV editing tab, so you can see that up here, top corner, and we've got the left hand side and the right hand side where we have our model. So we're essentially creating our UV map over here on the left so that we can kind of, if you imagine, squash out if you were to flatten out all these objects, so that we can paint it essentially. So what we're going to do is try and separate the top from the bottom. So I'm going to click up here where it says vertices, okay, and alt click on here. Okay, so that's where we're going to end the top half. I'm going to hit U, which will bring up this area here, and then I'm going to mark a seam. Okay, so we've now created a seam. So I highlight that all, you'll see now we've got it on the left hand side, the entire top of the inside and the outside of the head here. We also want the stalk as well. So what I'm going to do is do the same process. Alt click one of these. Now this highlights all the very top of the mushroom, which we don't want. So I'm going to hit B to highlight that all, and with my middle mouse I can just deselect them. Okay, and I can just click some of these people. We're going to mark the seam. Okay. Now it's all connected to the rim, and now you unwrap. Oh, highlight it all first, you, and then unwrap, and here we go. So we've got the two sides, and this is the stalk here and the actual head. So perfect. We've now created our UV map, and we can now start to colour in. So if we head over now to our texture paint, you'll see this over here. And what I'm going to do is, I can move this over, if I go to draw, again, missing textures. So we're going to the left hand side here where it says UV map. I'm going to create a new. Okay, and you can keep these much the same, or you can move them up so it's a lot more pixels, and then hit colour. We're going to change this colour to the colour that we want. Now I want to create a brownie colour because it's going to be the base of the stock. Turn around here, looks good to me. And hit OK. Okay, so you've added it now. Okay, not quite ready to go. We need to go to shading. Okay, we'll see it over here, and we're going to hit new. And this comes up. Okay, I'm now going to hit Shift A to bring up this option, and I can type in what I want to bring up. So I'm actually looking for Shift A. You search. I'm going to image texture. Click here, and here we have it. You can now click this button here, and now click the mushroom colour that we created, and I'm going to link this to the base colour. You can see that's applied behind you, so I can go back to texture paint, and here we go. It's now all nice and brown as we wanted it to be, so perfect. Okay, so let's colour this bad boy in. So I'm going to change this now to red, and now because my brush is quite big, it tends to lag quite a bit, so I'm actually going to hold down just a wee bit. Okay, you can see the strength and the radius here, and just hold left click and I can start to colour this in. The computer is a wee bit slow doing this, it seems to lag a wee bit, but I'm sure you'll be fine. And then just repeat the process here until you colour it in. You can move around your camera just to make sure. Oh, see, I've got the stop there, so I don't want that. I'm going to just zoom in and make sure I don't get the edges. So just make sure you colour this all in the colour you want. And I'll fast forward this till it's done. Okay, so now we've done that, we can have a better look at the get a little bit more detail to the actual top of it. So I'm going to now make it white. I can just move all these numbers up to 1, that makes it white. Oh, there we go. Oh, an RGB, hit RGB first, then 111. We've got white, and I'm going to make the hold F. Make these a lot smaller. Maybe put the strength up a wee bit. And maybe a lot further up, yep, and make some wee small circles like this. So there we go, we've added obviously some white spots just to kind of make it look more like an actual toadstool, whatever it's called, and that looks a lot better. Now if we actually unclick our mouth, not my mouth, the eyes and the eyebrows, we create also the face again. Now we can texture the actual face itself, the eyeballs I should say, just like we did before. So I'm going to click the plane. Now I'm going to go down to here at the bottom, and we're going to add a new material and add the colour to that. So let's give that a go. And so go back to the material here, make that black, and there we go. We'll do the same for the eyes, and the eyes are a wee bit different, okay, because we've got the inner circle. So I did show you guys before, that's important that we have, as you see here, this ring of circles. So in this view I can highlight all these. I'm going to click this option here, just to make it a wee bit clearer. I can highlight them all, and I can go over here to click new, and I can add a new material. So the eyes will, the inner pupil will be black. So that's done the full circle. So let's actually just make this white, as we expect it to be. We're going to add a new texture. Going to hit the sign. We're going to make a new texture and call that pupil. I'm going to make the pupil we know is black. Move that back down, and now we're going to highlight that as we've done, and a sign. So there we go. That has created a pretty cool looking guy. So that is our mushroom done. Now In terms of rendering it out, there's lots of ways we can do that. We can just hit 12 and that will just give us a basic render. But we want to set up a wee bit so it looks a bit better. So to do that, let's now create a plane. So add mesh plane. Okay, we'll see the bottom here. I'm going to scale this up just so it is. There's a lot of room there. I'm going to create another plane. So add plane. I'm going to hit R. I'm going to click X. I'm going to type 90. So that's now on the right axis. I can move this now up. I'm going to hit 1. It's a very paragon. I'm not going to hit 1. I'm going to slide down to here. You can hit the number keys to get this view. And let's have a better check of its side on. Okay, so you can see here we want to make sure that it's behind our guy. So what we're going to do now is click here and scale this up as well. So hit S or just a key here and just drag it up. Okay, cool. Move it a wee bit further away so there's a bit of space there. So we've now kind of created a bit of a scene here for the character, and we want to set up now some other parts, so like the camera and the light. So to create the lighting, we can just hit add again in object mode, add light, and there's lots of different options. I'm just going to click a point and then we're going to move it to where I would like it to be. Good thing to do as well at this point, guys, is we click here, we get a better idea of what it actually looks like with the lighting. You can see that, so we get an idea of what's actually going on. When we click the top right corner, the rendered setting, I'm going to now make it a wee bit brighter. Okay, so you can see now it's making a lot more of a shadow effect, which is quite cool, I think. There we go. Now the background is quite boring just now, so I'm going to change the colour of that just like we did before. So I'm going to click over here in the plane side. I'm going to just add a texture and take it. I'm going to choose the colour. The colour green makes sense. So it's actually created obviously the whole texture to be green. I think I want them to be two different colours, so I'm actually going to delete the plane. I'm going to add the plane again, and I'm going to scale this up. Now what we're going to do is hit Shift D, so I duplicate it, and I can just place it wherever. Now it's a separate plane on this side, so that's what we want. X 90, and then drag it back. So there we go, that looks better. Two different planes, and we can now add the texture like we did before. I'm going to make this part green. I think I'm going to make the back a slightly different colour. I'm going to make it something bright. Let's maybe make it light blue. Okay, we like the colours. NFTs, we like colours in NFTs, guys. So nice bright colours there, and we're happy with that. Now it's time to set up the camera. Okay, so the camera itself, again, we can just add this by going to add and finding the camera, and that's it here. Now we can position this where we want, okay, and try and it's going to be awkwardly move it back. So if we hit F12, it's going to show us where our view is, which is not ideal here. We don't want that. So sometimes it's easier actually just to control it with our viewpoint, which we're moving just now. There's a way to do that. So all we need to do, guys, is hit camera top right. There's some options here, and hit view and do lock camera to view. Okay, and now when you hit 0, that's our shortcut to control the camera. We can just now move around as we would do, but we're now controlling the camera as we're doing so. So we can put this in the position where we want. Okay, I think maybe something like that is quite cool. Don't want to maybe get a cool side-on view like this. I think it's cool. Maybe scale up the planes in the background here just so they're covering the full background. There we go. And that's us. Now we can hit F12, guys, and we have the rendered picture. Now the shaders of this didn't look great. show you things to make it look a bit better. We can go into our render options at the right hand side, render properties, and the default option is render Eevee, which is fast. But if you change it to cycles, you can see it does look a lot more realistic, but it's very slow. Okay, so we scroll around, guys, you can see like it's quite bitting, pixelated. It's rendering as we move, so it's more demanding for your computer. So you can sometimes change the device to GPU. Sometimes that's a bit easier. Okay, your computer, if it's got a good GPU, can respond better. But yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. And now, if we hit render, we'll be able to get a better idea. And you can see now it's obviously not rendering perfectly, but even the shadows are now coming are a lot more realistic. They're softer, they look better. And if we render this will look great, guys. So I'll hit F12, take a wee moment to actually get it all rendered, and then that will be us. Before you do render it, make sure you set the output. So over here, guys, we'll get the output properties. Okay, we can now click output down here, hit that folder, and you can click it wherever you want. And I'll show you guys what we've got. And here we are, guys, we have now rendered the mushroom. So this is our guy, you look brilliant. This is our PNG. So this is perfect. We can obviously crop this in Photoshop and do extra details, but this is also a really cool looking realistic 3D character that you can use for your NFT collections and character models. So perfect, guys, that is done. If you want any more videos, tutorials, explanations, fire them down in the comment section, and be sure to like and comment, it really helps us out, and subscribe for more cool content, guys. Alright, have a good one, bye bye.